Hi, I'm John Rivers from Four Rivers Smokehouse, and today we're going to make fantastic boneless ribs. A boneless rib is simply a cut off of the Boston butt, and it's something that you take the big butt and you make them as big or as thick as you like. Now, one thing that we've done is we've got our ribs that have been sitting overnight in a brine, which has given it just a lot of tenderization to it, and as well as we put a little bit of apple juice in here and a little bit of Worcestershire, and it's driving some great flavor. So first thing we're going to do before we put them into the smoker, we're going to start off with a really nice rub. Now, rub for pork, I like to keep it really sweet with just a little bit of a zing on the back end. So I'm going to start with brown sugar, and it's a real simple combination. You can make rubs out of any flavors that you like. I use 1 part brown sugar, and I go 1 part kosher salt. Again, kosher because it's got a lot of flavor to it. I go 1/2 part black pepper, okay, 1/4 part granulated garlic, 1/4 part powdered onion, 1/8 part cumin, which gives it just a nice little fresh taste to it. And like I mentioned earlier, just a little bit of cayenne. It's 1/8 part cayenne, and that brings the heat into it. But what cayenne is nice about it is it brings the heat to the back of your palate, so it creates a lasting flavor in your mouth as you eat it. So you want to mix this up really good, and especially with the brown sugar in there. You need to get in there and break it apart because you don't want any big clumps that are going to stick on your rib itself. So I'm going to mix my rub up really good to get the flavors evenly distributed. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull my boneless country style pork ribs out of the brine, which they've been sitting in all night, and they've soaked up all that salt and all that great flavor. Go ahead and put them in a container, because what I want to do is I want to rub these. Now be careful with ribs. You look how small and little the meat is. You don't want to over rub them. If you do, the flavor of the rub will dominate over the flavor of the meat itself, and all you're going to taste is rub. So I go pretty light when I put my rub on there, but just enough to accent the flavor of the pork itself, and then pull out some of the flavors when it's actually smoking. But you see, I'm not rolling it in it, and I'm not overly covering it either. And when I do my ribs on a bone, as a matter of fact, I only put the rib on one side of it so it doesn't dominate it too much. So, all right, so we've got our beautiful country style ribs that we have brined overnight, and then we put them in a nice rub. And all that's ready to do now is go ahead and throw them in the smoker. I smoke them at about 225 degrees over hickory, because hickory gives it a nice, smooth, sweet flavor. And you want to cook them about 165, 170 when his pork is done. But if you cook it just a little bit longer, the fat fibers inside of pork starting to break down, and it really makes a difference in the moisture. So I push the pork up, if I'm doing a ribs like this, for about 180, somewhere in there. And when you pull it out, let it sit for a bit, and you'll have a beautiful product. So we put this in the smoker, smoke it for about 4 hours for ribs to come out, and you get a nice, beautiful product like this. Now, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take my ribs. And what you see is you got that beautiful smoke ring that's around it, but the inside of the pork is so nice and pink, and just look how tender that is. And boy, I wish you could smell it, because that smell of the hickory is so prominent. It's just absolutely wonderful. So you can cut it up like that, put your favorite sauce on it. You know, if you like a nice red sauce, go ahead and put that on it, or a little bit of mustard sauce from the Carolinas area. Either way, it's going to accentuate that wonderful smoky flavor that you have and bring it out. So there it is. There's your beautiful country style pork rib. It's been brined overnight, a nice sweet rub that went on it, smoked for about 4 hours. Take it out. It's just absolutely a beautiful piece of meat. Nice pork, nice pink on the inside. You got a smoke ring on the outside, and just that wonderful smell of hickory flavor in it. Put either sauce on it you like, and you can just do this at home really easy, and it'll come out great every time you do it. So thanks for joining me today. Again, I'm John Rivers from Four Rivers Smokehouse, and happy smoking.